Cool. Here we are. This is our first stream. What's going on with my camera? My camera's like blurry. Oh, gotta play with it. Anyway, cool. Welcome to my first live stream on Twitch and YouTube ever. It's crazy. But I'm here to talk about... Ooh, the volume's a little loud. Let's see. How's that going? That's good. All right. So I'm here to talk about self-worth. Something that isn't probably normally streamed on Twitch or YouTube, but maybe it is. I don't know. And like self-worth, like connected to like parenting and to your children, like how your own self-worth is connected to your children and your parenting. And this all came up from like this somatic dance thing I've been doing lately. Yeah, I've been doing this somatic dance, and it's been like really just like moving my body in this really chaotic way to music that just like opens me up to things that I never expected. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So we want our children to have... by the way, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know if people are coming on or not coming on. I'm trying to figure all this out. But if you're here, welcome. If you're not, then cool. Oh, here we go. I think I'm getting it. Okay, cool. So no one's here right now. That's great, but they're going to come eventually. So, self-worth. So like so much of us want to have like believe in ourself, our self-love, our self-worth, and we want our children to have like worth. We want to know that we want them to know that they are worthy no matter what, and that they are amazing. But like that cannot happen unless we believe that we are worthy of self-love, that we are worthy of having belief in ourself. And so if we don't have self-worth for ourselves, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we outsource it to our job, to our work, to other people, to what they think of us, then our children will never have it. Plain and simple, just never. It's not possible, because as much as you tell them that you are worthy and you are loved and you're amazing, if they see you not loving your freaking self, then they are not going to love themselves. That is plain and simple. Fact, done, over. Like, end. So you can sit there at night, all those like all those Instagram videos and TikTok videos I see of people having their kids repeat, I'm loved, I'm respected, I'm cared for, blah, blah, blah. That's good. I'm not going to take that away from you. Keep doing that. Like, there's plenty of benefits to that. But if they're not seeing you love yourself and respect yourself, then all that really does not matter. And so what does it mean to have like self-love and self-respect? That is a freaking tough one in this society. So difficult in this society, because like it's actually like mind fuckery, honestly, mind fuckery, because our self-worth is really tied into a few things. Actually, there's like two camps, really. I don't want, and that's a binary. I don't love binaries of creating like two opposite of the spectrum things, because like self-worth is a massive spectrum. It's not even a line. It's more like knobs, and each piece of our self-worth is a knob that can be shifted and adjusted. And some of those knobs in self-worth could be like, how we perceive our outer appearance to be, if we think we're a good or bad human being, and then the range of that, and it could be like how we like what kind of if we think we're a good friend or not. Like there's just so many like things in self-worth that can be turned up, and there's so many different channels of it, and all these things come together. And really I think that the self-worth, there's like an overarching, really these are all held in like one big cup of self-worth, and then beneath it there's this like or this cup that's holding it is love. Like that's the thing, like love, that's it. And like deep love for yourself. And I'm talking about like this thing that sits in the center of your chest that never changes. It's this, like, when you get rid of all the dust, all the shit on top of it, like what's left there is just love. Plain simple. There's love sitting in our heart. It is always there. It will always be there, and it's covered up by all this muck. And what's the muck that covers it up? It is what society has told us important stuff is self-worth. So in regards to yourself, and then we can do in regards to your children. In regards to yourself, if you're a parent, so regards to yourself, self-worth is mucked up and covered up by like relationship with people, with family, whatever that is. It's mocked up by and covered up by job, money, status, things, so on and so forth. Just like take all that and just throw it on top of ourselves, and that literally like covers up like our true self-worth, our true innate knowing that we are literally perfectly imperfect as we are, and that we are worthy of love, even if we sit in our house and do nothing all freaking day long. Like, we were born worthy. And I know that's like such a in your brain we understand that, but our body doesn't get that at all. It doesn't fucking understand it at all. It thinks that we are only worthy if we do. Like, think how many times we check our to-do list. I'd get this done, and if we did, then you're worthy. Hell yeah. But if you didn't, you're a piece of shit and you did nothing today. That's like where we're at. That's what we're generating from. And so, yeah, I'm just realizing that my audio, my video was actually pretty like choppy and not synced up with my words so well. So I hope this comes out okay. And if not, I'm probably gonna go get a new camera to plug into my Mac today, so it gets better. But we're gonna just keep going with this because we're on a roll. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat if anyone's here. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So continuing. Yeah. And then our children's self-worth is pretty, like, it's related to a lot of our own stuff because we put a lot of our own ideas and opinions and beliefs onto our children, what we believe their self-worth should look like. Yeah, a lot of stuff we put onto them. And then theirs also comes out, like, theirs then gets replicated and turned into, like, how well they do in school, if they are liked by friends, if they had a lot of friends, if they're good at sport, if they're good at art, if they're like the lead person in their play or in their dance company. Like, that helps them develop their self-worth very quickly. It's tied very quickly to the same things that we tie our own self-worth to, and they learn a lot of that through us, like how much praise we give them or how much we take away depending on what happens. If they're a good listener, that becomes a big thing of self-worth, like if you're a good listener. And so we create these constructs of self-worth onto our children, society does, and then we've already had it created for us fully. And so I was in the middle of this ecstatic, crazy dance, like literally just like, and just like screaming and crying a little bit, and realizing just how much of my self-worth is put in this little freaking tiny box that is just, and like this, and maybe box isn't right. It's put in this little tiny box, and then the levers, like the controller, are pulled by all these things. Like if my wife approves of me, if my father approves of me through my wife, like, you know, this father wound that we put onto others. If I'm making the money that I want to make, if I have the relationships I want, like the levers just keep being pulled, and honestly, there's no way around that. Not I want to say no way. That's not true. We'll be dealing with that for probably the rest of our life because we live in this world. We live in this society. We're not living in a cave. We're not a monk. We're not a sannyasi, whatever. Like, we're here in this real life living as parents, as humans, as people. And so, what can we do? What can we do? Oopsie. Got some alerts. Just gonna put a little do not disturb on. Leave me alone for now. Okay. Do not disturb. Go on. There you go. It's on. Cool. What can we do to help ourselves, like, just remove ourselves from this self-worth deficit, if you want. I like that, like a self-worth deficit, but it's not even a deficit. It's where a lot of where we've been taught, and we actually started when we came out of the womb. Actually, no, I'm going on a sidetrack. But we came out of the womb, we actually might have already come out with like a deep lack of self-worth, because there's epigenetics, scientifically proven that there's these also levers in our genes that we can turn up and down that help us determine like lots of things, that like beliefs or feelings or a lot of things that have been passed down generationally through our family. And so sometimes self-worth is passed down generationally through our family. And hold on 2 seconds, I'll be right back. I'm back. Hey, we're talking about epigenetics. So sometimes you might have come out of the freaking womb. The womb, not believing in yourself already, like born, like I am someone who needs to gain my worth through doing whatever X, Y, and Z. And so we're possibly working from a deficit from the start in terms of how we believe of ourselves. I'm calling it a deficit because it is. It's like so sad. So sad that we don't believe that we are worthy from like the get go. And yet we are. Like we are. And right now in this moment, there's so many things swirling in my head. Like, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? Am I wasting my time? Is this worth my time? Is my worth being elevated and increased by me spending my time here talking about this to, honestly, right now, no one? And maybe someone will watch this and learn from this, and maybe no one will. And I'm talking to myself. And where's the worth in that? What's the reason in doing any of that? And for me, it's to express and to get out my feelings and emotions, and that's what helps us develop like our own understanding of our own self-worth, to help deconstruct it, to help unravel it from late-stage capitalism, patriarchy, and all these things that have really determined what our self-worth was. And the way we do that is by going into our body, by getting out of here and here. This is part of our body, so we need to like love that. And oh, my tattoo looks cool on their screen. By going into here and being with it, and here and being with it, and just seeing the lay of the land, understanding where we are in terms of self-worth, in terms of understanding the lay of the land in terms of how we speak to ourselves. And so let's just try it right now. Actually, let's try it. So you can close your eyes if that feels like okay, or you can leave them open and look at something that like feels nice. And then we're gonna start with our brain. We use our brain. So start with thinking. Start with thinking about, how do you perceive yourself? How do you perceive yourself? Like, and what I mean by that, sorry, my wife is talking and I got distracted and pulled away into what she's doing. But self-worth is like, think about your job, how much money you make, what kind of parent you are, whatever's the thing that really, in terms of self-worth, gets you, what kind of friend you are, do you do enough to help the world change? Whatever really is that thing that ratchets up your self-worth down or up, depending on, did you eat well? Did you work out today? these thin things. Did you call them and say, I love you, or happy birthday, whatever it is? Like, there are these things that really can quickly affect how you feel about yourself based on how you perceive other people feel about you. And so just think about that, like in your brain, get that. What's your thing? Ooh, mine is related to like the money that I'm bringing in through doing things that I care about, and also how much I'm doing for the world. Like, there's a lot of shame and guilt in that, and so I can feel it in my body right now. Like, I can feel that in this right here, this part of my body. And so feel where in your body you can feel that contraction or maybe expansion if you're feeling good about yourself. Ooh, I worked out today. I ate really healthy. I'm like, fit. Like there's an expansion when like in part of your body when that, or there's like, or like, oh, work's going really well, people really like me and like what I'm doing, or where's the contraction? I'm not enough. The contraction is more often much louder than the good, like so much louder because we've been taught. uh, it's a survival technique, actually, survival. Like we need to know what's causing us pain and suffering so we can heal it and not feel that and survive and like we're surviving. And so it's like this system that we have to need to help actually override and make understand that we don't need that anymore. That the good can be there just as much as the stuff that feels bad, and to not be attached to either. And so, um, we have that feeling, we have that thought, and then we feel it in our body. And maybe you can't, maybe you're numb to that, which is very normal. If you don't feel often, if you don't feel, you might be numb. Um, yeah, you might be numb to that sensation. But so we're gonna do two things. So if you can see this thing that's causing you pain or joy, and you can feel in your body, I just want you to stay there and be with that feeling. Literally, just sit with it. Park yourself right next to it. Listen to it if there's anything to listen to it if it has any words to share with you. Feel its energy or its feelings if it wants to emit that to you. And for those who can't feel, which again is totally normal, maybe frustrating, possibly not, then you're just going to go into your body and you can feel your breath in your body expanding your belly, or you can sit in like your heart space in the center of your heart, your chest, and just sit there and feel whatever you can feel in your body. Or you can really just like go explore. You can just do a like kind of body scanning and just go into your head and feel where there's tightness in your jaw maybe, or in your eyes and your temples, or where there's maybe some like expansion in the back of your head. Maybe there's no expansion. And then you can just kind of move down your body and just keep feeling it. And this is the way that we get in tune with our body. We get to know what we're feeling. And that's the way to self-worth, to knowing the lay of the land first. And because when we know the lay of the land, we can then like really understand when things are being ratcheted up or ratcheted down, and what's triggering us and what's ours and what's not ours. Like when we're with our partner or friends or children, our kids, especially kids have so many emotions that they're putting out there because they don't know how to regulate at all. A lot of us also barely know how to regulate, but we'll take on the emotions of our children very quickly and they'll feel like our own. And that's why we get so overwhelmed being around our kids, because we like don't even know our own emotions, and then we're taking on our chaotic kids' emotions that are unregulated, and so we're just like fully dysregulated and yelling and screaming, and we're like, yeah. Yeah. And so if you're sitting with those emotions still, I've left you there examining your body. I've left you being with that feeling that's connected to that pain or to that joy. And you also can bounce around if there's different thoughts coming up about different things that fuel or flame your worth, or douse it. You can go with those. But right now, actually, I want you to come back to the one that feels the strongest, the one that really is like got you in a hold. Me, it's right in my chest right now, and it's just this this deep feeling of unknown if I'm going in the right direction. And that makes me feel a little bit unworthy, actually a lot unworthy. And if my wife approves of it, actually, that really makes me feel a lot unworthy. Getting vulnerable here, sharing, that's tough sometimes. So stay with that emotion that really gets you, positive or negative, but most likely it's probably going to feel negative because, again, that's stronger. And give it love no matter what it is. Just see if you can admit this feeling of love to it. And so I'm able to just tap into love because I've been practicing like just dropping into love for years and years. And if that's not something you're able to do, which is a good chance it's not, imagining something that brings us great love is really helpful in this case. So for a second, you can drop that and imagine like your children in bed sleeping, and you just give them a kiss on the head, or your pet is just lying on your lap and you're just petting it or stroking it, or your grandma, your grandfather, someone that really like has unconditional love tied to you. It's usually not a parent. My mom could be that because she died, and I really have like this pedestal thing of her still. So that is possible. And maybe it's a god. Maybe it's not a human. Maybe it's something divine. Or maybe it's food. I don't know. Something that makes you feel love. And so when you can feel that love, when you like really, and for me, I really go back to kissing my children on the head as they're sleeping, like just so peacefully. That love just like radiates in my soul. Um, and so you emit that love to you and that part of your body that you were at before. There's a lot here. This is advanced. This is not simple. This is advanced stuff. And if it's too advanced for you, which I'm not saying in a negative way, if it feels too much, just come back to the exploration of your body, examining, and we're staying with it. So we've admitted love, we've explored our body, we've been feeling, and then we can take a deep breath. We can come back here. We can come back here. And you can look at something really nice, and you can just let yourself know that you've just spent some time exploring your body, and that is the beginning of self-worth. That's the beginning. That's it. That's the only thing. Start and ends there. Start and it ends there. And then so when we have a better understanding of our body and what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, and what brings ourselves worth and not, and you can write these things down as they come up to you when you feel really worthy or not worthy. And honestly, things that make you feel really worthy, it's good. Be with that. But also if we cling to that when it's not there, then we feel worthless. And so the goal of this practice is to realize that in here, in our heart, in here, we're innately worthy no matter what is going on in our life. And that is going to be a lifelong practice of understanding it. And then that practice will help the people around us, our partners, our kids, our coworkers, our children, to let them feel their own self-worth, because we won't be tied up in trying to express ours to everyone. I'm worthy. Look at me. Look at me. I'm doing this. I did that. I'm this awesome. I'm this amazing. Like, yeah, that happens. That's part of life. That's part of us as humans. But if we can understand it and see that lovingly, and then we can let other people carry their own self-worth. And it's like so helpful, so impactful, like so incredibly amazing. All of it. Yeah. That's really it. That's all I have to share today. Keep practicing, keep sharing, keep being with it. Um, you're awesome. Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you for listening and for being part of this. My first ever stream, ever on Twitch, ever live stream on YouTube. And I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Keep going, keep doing it. You're amazing. Seriously. Thanks.